Okay, welcome to step 2 of the staff expenses. Let's fix a couple things, change some formatting, and create our chart. One of the mistakes that we made when entering this was supposed to have been $120 instead of $1,200. Notice down here it did automatically add $20 to it, but they're both wrong. The reason why we use references, why this says B11 plus 20 instead of 1200 plus 20 or 120 plus 20, is when you make a mistake and you fix it, we type in the correct number here of 120, you will notice the cell in B23 automatically gets corrected. So we use references to cells, not numbers, and not reference to other numbers, but to the cell location. So now that is corrected. My instructions also have you type in your name up here and your class, and I tell you to format your name a little bit different. So you can choose a little bit different font, you can make it a little bit bigger, and you can change the color of it to be some other shade of something. Purple, there you go. Just so you know how to do that. Next step is to actually chart the expenses. For this we're going to select the name of the item and the amount of the expense. Then we go up to our top toolbar, we have a chart wizard. Click on the chart wizard. The default is just a column chart. We need to change that to a pie chart. And as you make changes, you'll see them reflected up here. Okay. Once we've chosen pie, you go to next. In the data range, everything here is already set up. Data series, everything is already correct. Chart elements, here's where we want to give it the title. I tell you to call it January Staff Expenses. Okay. And hit finish. And there's our chart. One of the things we have to do though is have to display the percentages here. So select your chart by clicking in here, and then right click and you will select your actual chart elements. So the first thing is to now insert labels that represent the data. When you do that, it'll choose the default label, which was the amount. But if you go back in here and now if you right click, you'll see where it says format the data labels. We didn't see that before because we had no labels until we inserted them. So we'll turn off showing the values, turn on the percentage. Let me redo this where you can see this. Right click format. Let's bring this in here. Okay. We will turn off showing the number. We will show it as a percentage. Go to the percentage format, which will open up this window. And it wants to keep the source formatting, which is currency. So we need to turn that off. Now this is a percentage, 13%. We should be able to say OK and OK. And there's our percentages. Next thing we need to do is to move the chart. We don't want the chart looking over our data. We want to put our chart into one of these other sheets. To make sure you have the chart selected, you'll notice these handles here. Those are the black boxes. Notice here I have a black box and a green box. It's really hard sometimes to know what you have selected. If you want to select your entire chart, click someplace outside of your chart, then go back in and click your chart, and you notice the green and the black handles are merged together, meaning you've got everything. At this point you can right click, cut the chart from there, go to your second sheet and right click, paste the chart. So now it's in its own sheet. Okay. Wrong name for this sheet, so if you double click the sheet 2, we can rename this January Staff Expenses. Try to spell it right here. Okay. And the third extra sheet we don't need, so we can right click that and say delete sheet. So there's our chart, and that is good there. Let's go back to our expenses. And now's a good time to save this. Next step we have to do is to add some color and format this like my sample showed you. We have to do a couple things first for the totals here. If you select the first range you want to format, hold the control key down, select the second range. Some things will work, some things won't. What we want to do is we want to add a yellow background or a fill. So that does that. Other thing we want to do is we want to add a double underline indicating it is the final version of it. We have some borders up here, but not the one that we're looking for. So if we right click on this, keep in mind we still have both of these selected still. If you're not sure, highlight them again. Okay. And then point to them, right click, format cells, go to borders, choose the border you want, make sure you have only the bottom, and then choose the style that you want, a small double line, say OK, and now this looks like an accounting spreadsheet. It's yellow, it's double underlined, good time to save it again. Okay, my example says here to create a pie chart. Let's resize this. Color the background of the charted expenses to match the color of the chart. Okay, so let me show you how to do that. Pick the right item here. Okay. So let's choose gas. Again, we have gas. We have gas. And when you right click format cells and choose background, the labels here aren't showing, but if you hover over it, chart 1, chart 2, chart 3, this is the color of the first item in chart 1, which is going to be gas. So if we select that color and say OK, and we can go back over here, and yeah, sure enough, that's the same color. So let's select the second thing, which is mileage cost. Hold the control key down, select the second range, right click, format cells. Let's look for chart 2. That's an orange color. Is that correct? Was it orange? Let's look and see. Oh yeah, mileage cost is orange, isn't it? So you just go through and do this. Right click, format, look for chart 3. Okay. Meals and entertainment. Hold the control key down. Format. Chart 4. Okay. Film. Film. Right click. Format. Chart 5. Oop. If you did the wrong thing, Control Z undoes it. You can also go up here and look for the undo, edit undo. So I did not have the right item selected. Let me choose film. And this is chart color 5. Let's go back again. 5. Okay. And then the last one, office supplies. Right click, format, chart color 6. And save it. I also told you to format this, I believe, not your name, but to format the field expresses. Read my instructions, to follow my instructions. Sometimes I don't read them. I've done this before, but I don't remember every step. That's not a good way to do it. Always read the instructions. So let's go ahead and format this the same way if we want to. Oops, not quite there. 16, and choose a font color. I don't know what color we chose the other one. Now notice how this one, because we made it bigger, extends into the B1. That is okay. That is okay. You don't want to make this wider because the rest of the chart is off. Because there's nothing in B1 for it to overwrite, that is adequate. And now if you click on page preview, there's page 1. Go to page 2. Okay, and there's the second page. This is how it should look. Your chart should be on one page and your data on the other page. When you're done, you can hit close preview. Make sure it's saved. If your floppy disk is grayed out, that means it is saved. Okay, it looks like I was wrong over here. This is supposed to be on the same line. So we'll put that there, and we will delete that to clean that up, and then resave it. and then upload this file, and that looks like it should be correct. If you have any questions, email me.